Hi guys, it's Katie here again from Creativa, and I'm back today to start a new project. The project is this 3D camera with a mini album inside. So I have already done an introduction video and a sort of flip through of the mini album that's inside this, and I will link that video here so that you can go and have a look at that one. Today I'm just showing you how to upload the SVG files from your computer to Cricut and how to change the cut lines to score lines and attach them and save it as a project. So the SVG files themselves are available from my Etsy store. Usually when I download something from Etsy or from another site, website, it will come to my downloads folder. So if we just slip over to my downloads folder, you can see here that this is the file that will come to you if you were to purchase this from my Etsy store. It's a zipped folder, so the first thing we need to do is unzip it. So I'm just going to double click on that, and then I'm coming up here to this extract all button, and I'm going to click extract all. You should have 7 camera files and then 2 PDFs. So I'm going to click extract all. It's going to tell me where it's going to put those files once it's extracted them, and then I'm going to click extract and it will open up that folder there. So now if I go back up, you can see that I have this zipped folder here, but then I have this unzipped folder here, which is the one that we have just unzipped. So if I click on that, you can see that I have 7 files, and then I also have 2 PDFs. So let's have a quick look at the PDFs. This bottom one here is called the guide for the camera, and it is a 7-page document. The first page is just this little picky here. It's got some information here on what we're talking about today, which is changing the cut lines to score lines and attaching them. There's a link here to my YouTube channel so that you can come and look at, well, this video and all of the tutorials that go with the camera. A little bit of wording here about changing the size of things, a little bit here about the SVG files themselves, and a link to my YouTube channel so you can go and check out the tutorials. And then I have just attached the screenshots of each of the files for you to see. And so that's that first, well, it's actually this last one here. I've also included this file here. It says double-sided booklet for camera, and that's a PDF as well. Let's just have a look at that one. So this is if you want to create a little double-sided booklet that you can refer to. This is all ready for you to print out, fold in half, and make a little booklet. I have a little booklet that I refer to when I'm making tutorials, and it is exactly the same as this. I've just printed it out and put it in there. So if you find it easy, as I do, to have a guide to refer to, then you can print this out. So I would print this double-sided. In fact, let's just press print, and I'll show you what I do. So it's going to my laser printer, it's landscape. I would say print, I'd go to more settings, and I'd say print on both sides, flip on the short edge, like so. And then I'd choose my paper size, and then I'd say OK and send it to print. So I want it to print on both sides, and I want it to flip on the short edge. And then you can just fold those pages in half and make yourself a little booklet. And if you check out the tutorials for this camera, you'll see that little booklet there. But now we need to take these 7 files and upload them to Cricut. So let's just slide down here to Cricut Design Space. I'm going to click on Upload. I'm going to click on, you can see here I have actually already uploaded them all, but I will show you how to do it. So click on Browse. And then we're going to make sure that we navigate back to this folder where we have unzipped those files, and we'll just double click on the file. We can see the file here. It's got a name, camera file 1, and we can click save. And we're going to do that for each of those 7 folders, so files. I keep saying folders instead of files. Okay, so file 2 says camera file 2, that's the file there, click save. So you're going to go through and do that for all 7 files. Then when we've done that, we're going to select all those files. So as I've already uploaded them, I won't go through and upload them again, but this is file 1, over here is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So you can see them all down here, and then I'm going to say insert images. So we need to sort of manipulate the files a little bit before we can send them off to cut. So the first thing I'm going to do is make my size a bit smaller so that I can fit it all on the screen, and then I'm just going to unpack these files a bit because they always come in all crowded up on top of each other. Put these down here, put this up here, put this over here, this one here and here. That should do for now. So the files themselves have got a pink section and then the blue section, and the pink section is actually sitting on top of the blue section, and they're your mats. So that's what you'd cut out of your scrapbook paper or whatever, however it is that you wanted to decorate and embellish your camera and mini album. So the first thing we need to do is ungroup this file. So you can see this file here, if we look over in the layers panel, this is camera file 1. Highlighted in the dark grey are all the pieces in there, but first, so we need to ungroup that file. So we're going to click on ungroup, and then if we click on one of these pieces here, you can see over in the layers panel that it is still in a group of just those 2 things, so we also need to ungroup that. Then we need to click on just the blue section, So if we come over here to the layers panel again, you can see that it's highlighted some cut lines and just that blue section and not the pink mat. What we need to do is click on those cut lines and change them, and if we come up to the top left where it says line type, click on that drop down menu and change it from cut to score. So then if we go over to the layers panel, you can see that it's now says score and those lines are dotted. So I'm going to click on this one above where that little arrow is, and it's going to highlight both the blue piece and my score lines, which is good. Then I'm going to come down here and click attach. So then if we look back on the screen, we can see that it has attached those lines, which are now dashed lines, not solid lines, to that blue piece, but now we can't see our mat. So I'm going to right click on my mouse and say send to back, and there now you can see the mat for that. So then I'm going to click both of those little pieces and I'm going to say group. Now it's up to you if you want to group the mat with each of the pieces. That's how I like to work with things, but it's entirely up to you. So I need to go through and do that for all of these pieces that have got cut lines that I need to change to score lines. So I'm going to click on this one here. I'm going to click on ungroup, and then I'm going to come back, click on the blue piece. I'm going to go over to the layers panel, click on those cut lines, go back up to the line type, change it from cut to score, and then come back again, click on that little section where the arrow is, and then click attach. Then I'm going to click right mouse click and click send to back. Click off it, then I'm going to highlight both of those pieces and click group. I'm going to go through and do that for all of these pieces. Now some of them may not be grouped together, so this one is, but then if we have a look at something like these circles here, I have to ungroup that file. But if I click on these circles here, you can see that they are already grouped together, but we don't need to do anything to them, so they're fine just as they are. Let's have a look at this little guy here. This long skinny guy here is not grouped together. So when I come over here, I'm going to change those cut lines to score lines. Click on the little arrow, click attach. Then I'm going to click send to back. And now I can see that mat on top. And then I'm just going to grab both of those little pieces and click group. Okay, so I'm going to go through and do that for all of my little pieces. There is one piece that I want to tell you about in particular, and it's in this file here. So this is file 4. I'm going to ungroup that. And it's this piece here with these 4 green, there's nothing green about the pink mats. Okay, so I'm going to ungroup this. You can see it's got those 4 little skinny mats, and then it's got some cut lines, and then it's got the blue piece. Let's ungroup that. I'm going to click on the blue piece, and those cut lines there, instead of changing those to score lines, I'm going to leave them as cut lines, but we do need to attach them. So making sure that I've got those cut lines and the blue piece all highlighted, then I'm going to click attach. And you can see that those lines are still solid. So they are cut lines. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to right mouse click, say send to back, and then I'm going to highlight the whole thing and click group. So that one is worth mentioning. That is our binding piece, and we're going to insert our pages into those cut lines, so we definitely need them to cut. Okay, let's just have a quick look at a couple of these pieces here with the little holes cut out to make them look like films or slide pieces. So when we, I need to ungroup that file, and we have a look at this, you can see that they are not grouped together, and in fact the mat is sitting behind it, because that's what it would look like when you put it together in your album. So I'm just going to go over here, change those cut lines there to score lines, and highlight that whole little piece, and then click attach, and it will come on top, and we don't need to send it to the back because it is actually a piece that would sit on top like that. So then I'm just going to grab those 2 pieces together and click group. So that's all we need to do, but we need to go through and do that for every single piece. Now I want to show you that I've already done that to save you sitting and watching me do it. So here's my project that I've already changed all my cut lines to score lines. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller again so you can see it all on one screen. And I have clicked on, I have saved this as a project, so I've clicked on save, and I haven't got the option to save it at the moment, but I would, because I have just saved it, and I called it camera, right? So the only other suggestion I wanted to make to you was to take all of the pieces that are for the mini album and separate them a little bit from the pieces that make the camera. So all these pieces here, these 5 pieces that came in that one file, they're all pockets. So let's move those over here. And then there is also this pocket here in this file. I just couldn't fit it in this file. So I'm going to grab that little guy and I'm going to put him over there. So that's all my pockets together. Then this is my cover, these 2 pieces here. So I'm just going to bring them over here and pop those there. And this is my binding. So I'm going to bring that over here and drop that there. And this is the side pocket insert, so I'm going to pick that guy up and put him over there because he's also a part of the mini album. And then the only other part of the mini album are these 2 base pages, so I'm going to bring those over here. And then I'm just going to highlight that whole section and make that a group, because I don't know about you, but I would cut all the pieces for the camera before I started cutting the pieces for the mini album. So then these pieces here are all pieces for my mini album. Sorry, not my mini album, my camera. Oops, I missed that little guy. Come back there. So then I would highlight all of those together and group those together. So now all my pieces for my camera are here and all my pieces for my mini album are there. And then I'm just going to save that. So click on save. And it is updating my file, my project, which is called camera. So that's it. That's all we need to do in terms of manipulating the files so that we can now send them to our Cricut to cut. So in the next video, we will start putting the camera together. So I hope that you guys stick around and watch that tutorial, and hopefully have a go at making your own camera and little mini album. So as always, what do I say? Like, subscribe, comment, etc., etc. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much for your time today. Bye.